Episode 229. After Yu Wenzhou left, Huang Xiaoshen sat back down at his computer and logged out of the game. Then he opened the replay file, loading the recording of the match Yu Wenzhou and Ye Xiu had just played. Out of those 21 pseudo combos, how many could I dodge? While watching the match earlier, Huang Xiaoshen hadn't really had time to consider this question. The two were fighting at an extremely fast pace, leaving him little room for detailed thought. Now, reviewing the recording, Huang Xiaoshen put himself in the player's shoes and began to reenact the battle. If it were me, I definitely wouldn't have handled it like that here. The first thing he realized was the gap between Yu Wenzhou and himself. In some spots, Huang Xiaoshen might have had better ways to handle things. Even though he probably couldn't have won against the overwhelming advantage of the unspecialized class, he could at least have put on a better show than Yu Wenzhou. But as Huang Xiaoshen counted through each of those 21 false combos, sweat began to bead on his brow. 21 false combos. If he were the one facing them, he might not have used them this way. But putting himself in that situation, Huang Xiaoshen realized he was confident he could have dodged them all, only just 4. This was something Huang Xiaoshen had never anticipated. The gap between his hand speed and Yu Wenzhou's was immense. In Huang Xiaoshen's mind, sending these pseudo combos Yu Wenzhou's way was simply bullying him for his slower reactions. But now, as he scrutinized it carefully, he realized these 21 fake combos weren't just targeting Yu Wenzhou's hand speed weakness. Huang Xiaoshen flipped back and carefully reviewed it again. After finishing, he couldn't help but curse. Damn it! 3 times. He should only have been able to dodge 3 times, not 4. I missed one earlier. From his current spectator's perspective, that pseudo combo was easy to dodge. But in the heat of battle, Lu Mu's viewpoint was turned away from Lord Grimm. That strike was a textbook ambush. That strike predicted Lu Mu's movement. Even if it missed, there were plenty of follow-ups ready. It was a pseudo combo impossible to dodge, no matter how high your APM. And I, known for my sharp judgment, had actually misread it. This feint was incredibly deceptive and well concealed. But against an opponent like Yu Wenzhou, whose hand speed is such a glaring weakness, such a complex maneuver shouldn't have been necessary. Just how many more tricks like this does this guy have up his sleeve? Huang Xiaoshen thought this, a chill running down his spine. He replayed the recording from the beginning, meticulously studying Lord Grimm's fighting style. He wanted to understand in detail just how many lethal traps were hidden within. Then, Huang Xiaoshen discovered another terrifying fact. Even for a top-tier expert like him, he was woefully inexperienced in dealing with Lord Grimm's pseudo combos. A falling flower palm followed by a draw sword slash. That's not a fake combo, but in a one-on-one match, when has a combo like this ever appeared? Many of Lord Grimm's combos and pseudo combos were less like true combos and more like coordinated plays. The kind of synergy you'd see from multiple characters and classes working together. Yet now, he was weaving them all together, a seamless fusion executed by a single player. Huang Xiaoshen was watching the match, and this feeling was growing stronger and stronger. Lu Mu's opponent wasn't one person, but 2, 3, perhaps even more. But you can't see that in this match, because he knows Lord Grimm isn't even trying. So what would it look like if Lord Grimm went all out? Huang Xiaoshen suddenly found himself intensely curious about the answer. He logged into the game in a flash. The Divine Realm suddenly trembled. What should have been just a routine friend online notification. But when many players glanced at the name of this friend who just logged in, they instantly erupted. Night Rain Hall! The character who logged in was none other than Night Rain Hall, hailed as the Sword Saint, a god-like figure who had suddenly come online at this very moment. No matter how legendary the account, it all started right here in the game. So in the online game, you could just search for any of those top-tier Alliance characters. Who knows how many players have tried sending friend requests to their favorite avatars.
Some characters have their friend requests set to auto, reject.
Some require verification, while a very few can be added directly. So unless it's the first type, an outright rejection, adding other pro characters as friends isn't an impossible feat. Of course, the chance of them adding you back is pretty slim. Plenty of players in the game already have Night Rain's Sorrowful Howl on their friends list. The sudden appearance of that name's online status immediately drew the attention of many. A number of players, emboldened, sent messages to the great god to say hello.
Oops, forgot to go invisible.
A continuous barrage of message notifications flashed before Huang Xiaoshen's eyes. He hurriedly logged off again, his appearance as fleeting as a night blooming serious. But because of his uniquely heroic status, yet it instantly drew widespread attention. The news that Troubling Rain had logged in was already being hotly debated in the World Channel. A pro player's character had just logged into the game. This sort of thing. It's not exactly unheard of. In the arena of the heavenly domain, professional players' characters often drop by to play. Many regular players have had the fortune of crossing blades with them. But a top-tier god like Troubling Rain, practically no one had ever seen him in the arena. Pro players didn't use the standard games arena for their regular training. They have a dedicated system provided by the game company for the pro circuit. Plus, there's a map editor and a scene editor. They can even design their own terrain and run specialized drills. In the end, pro players didn't frequent the online game much. Just as the world chat was buzzing about Troubling Rain's 5-second cameo, Huang Xiaoshen logged in again, this time in stealth mode. Though many were still spamming messages, Huang Xiaoshen calmly pretended to be offline. He swiftly had his character leave the heavenly domain and headed for a sparsely populated town in the regular server area. After all, the name above his head couldn't be hidden. The 4 characters Night Rain, Annoying Sound, would still cause a major stir if any player spotted them. The journey was smooth. Once inside the town, they headed straight for the arena. In Glory, arenas allowed cross-server play, but the arena in the heavenly domain was completely separate from the standard servers. They were 2 different worlds. If you want to spar with Lord Grimm, the arena in the heavenly domain is a no-go. Huang Xiaoshen entered the town's arena and created a room in the balanced field. He then opened his friends list, only to sweat again. Night Rain Howler and Lord Grimm were on different servers. Since Lord Grimm wasn't in the heavenly domain, he couldn't add him as a friend. Frustrated, he had to switch to the game's chat window. He logged into QQ but didn't bother with Ye Xiu. Whether the guy was actually offline or just ignoring him, he sent a message. The window flashed a few times, but there was no response whatsoever.